We set back our growth process so much because we waste so much time pushing it off because we're afraid of the outside opinions. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to today's episode. If you are looking to unlock the hottest, highest, and happiest version of yourself, this is the podcast for you. Welcome to Hot and Unbothered. I'm your host, Bri-day, and I am so happy you found my podcast. If you're new here, my goal for this podcast is for it to feel like a FaceTime or phone call with your best friend. I just want it to feel like two girls sitting and giving each other advice and trying to figure out how to become the highest versions of ourselves, how to truly level up and develop an it girl mindset. If that sounds like something you're into, keep watching because today's episode is one of the most important lessons in the Hot and Unbothered handbook. Before we dive in today, I like to start each episode with a podcast review just to kind of show my gratitude towards you guys and get the chance to reply to all your sweet comments and reviews. This week we have Ari, and she said, "My new favorite podcast. I'm thinking about getting a pink diamond ring. That story will stick with me." And this is a review after my pink diamond episode. If you guys haven't listened to that, go listen to it. That is like my number one analogy, my number one like Bible rule for becoming hot and unbothered. So definitely go listen to the pink diamond theory if you haven't yet. My favorite episode, honestly. And you guys seem to like it too. So if you haven't, go listen to it. And also, everyone should get a pink diamond ring so we can be matching. I wear a pink diamond ring every day as a little reminder that I'm a pink diamond, you guys are pink diamonds, and to never forget your worth. Also, make sure you guys stay tuned for the end of the episode for your weekly challenge, I like to call it, whether it's an affirmation to implement, a new mindset, habit, something to start doing, journal prompt, anything like that. I like to give you guys a little something at the end of each episode just to kind of practice what we learned in the episode. And without further ado, let's get into today's episode. If anyone knows me in real life, they know that I am the queen of overthinking. I get anxious and I overanalyze pretty much almost every situation, but that is something I have been trying so hard to rewrite and work on because being an overthinker, if you can relate, is not a fun feeling. To be constantly on edge and so worried about what other people are thinking, it's honestly like so unhealthy for you. It's so hard to be happy and to feel confident and fulfilled all the time when you have this like worry, this pit at the bottom of your stomach, that horrible feeling when you're just anxious. It's not a good feeling. But in today's episode, I will be talking about something that is so important and will set you so free. And I like to call it the art of not caring. The art of not caring is to truly be able to detach from the worry of what other people think of you. And I feel like it's something that we really developed in today's day and age, especially. I mean, obviously, caring and overthinking has been a thing for centuries, but I feel like in today's society with social media and pressures and the constant micro trends that we go through and the need to conform to certain aesthetics and be certain people to impress certain people and come across a certain way, like it's so unhealthy. It is so bad for us, but I feel like we've become so accustomed to the feeling where it's almost normalized to constantly care about what people think. Guys, that's not normal. And it's something that I'm working on again. Oh my gosh, my entire life I felt the need to be a certain way and I'd be so afraid of what this person thinks or if they're gonna like me or if I'll have enough friends or if I'll fit in. And you guys, that is such a limited way of thinking. A big part about learning to not care is coming to terms with the fact that not everyone will like you. Not every person you come across will like you. Guys, there's billions and billions of people in the world. Do you think that every single person you meet or who sees you is gonna like you or agree with you? Like, let's be realistic here. And I have a little story time, a little anecdote that's gonna correlate with this. So, a couple weeks ago, I went to Disneyland with my boyfriend and some friends and family, and I basically, long story short, if you don't follow me on social media, I got lost. Going home, my phone shut off. It was a whole stupid little thing, whatever. And yes, it was an avoidable situation. I didn't have to cry or have an anxiety attack, but I did. If you haven't seen my TikTok about this, go watch that because this might not make any sense. But basically, I posted a TikTok of me crying because I got lost in a city that I did not know very well. It's a TikTok of me crying, full blown anxiety attack. I'm crying like a literal baby, you guys. Was that video embarrassing? Absolutely. But I posted it because I realized it was relevant, whatever. The influencer content creator in me was like, honestly, the next day I woke up, I wasn't scared anymore, I was fine, I survived, and I was like, this would be a good TikTok. So I post the video to TikTok and it blows up instantly. It's at almost 6 million views now, and it's been a couple weeks, but you guys, the hate comments on that, actually ridiculous. Yes, what I was doing was ridiculous. I was crying like a baby and I made the decision to post it on the internet. But you guys, the hate comments, oh my goodness. You would be so surprised at the amount of people who waste their own precious, valuable time just to say a little comment that they think is gonna ruin my whole day and my existence and make me cry. Like, guys, are you for real right now? Please, after this episode, go look at the comments on my TikTok for that because it's crazy. The people who are like, this is so embarrassing, like, this is ridiculous, like, you're too old to be doing this. And I'm just like, first of all, none of you have experienced anxiety in your life and it shows. And second of all, it's more embarrassing to be the people in the comments. But I think of it this way, like, you think it's embarrassing for me to be posting this video? It's even more embarrassing to be the person who's so filled with hate and negativity that they feel the need to comment that on like an innocent girl's post. Like, some people are such certified haters that it's embarrassing. I could not be me, could never be me. I've never once felt the urge to comment something negative or say something negative to someone in real life. It just doesn't make sense to me. But then I forget that not everyone is filled with positivity or love or joy. Some people, they're just filled with hate. And hey, we can't help that. I touched on this briefly in my first ever episode, but I was in this like dating episode, speed dating Jubilee video on YouTube, and I ended up winning, but everyone was so mad. There were people writing essays in the comment sections about how I display narcissistic qualities, all because I came off as confident. I came off a certain way that they didn't like, most likely because they can't achieve that in their own life and they hated it. And sometimes I do fall down a spiral of reading other people's comments. I think it's honestly inevitable as humans. We want to know what other people think of us, but it's such an unhealthy way of living, honestly. And I try a lot harder now to not engage with comments, but sometimes you get so caught up in it and you just want to know like how other people are perceiving you. I feel like we crave that. We crave the knowledge of knowing how other people are viewing us, whether it's good or bad. And luckily, I think I've trained my brain enough to know that not everything other people will say about me is true. And that's another thing to know. Someone's opinions towards you have nothing to actually do with you and everything to do with them. Someone else's thoughts towards you are a true reflection of their insecurities, not yours. That reflects their trauma, their experiences, the things that they don't like about themselves. They will hate in you because they're lacking those qualities of their own. So that's something I need to remind myself of every day. Every time I get a negative comment, whether it's online or in real life, I remind myself like, okay, that's a reflection of them. If they don't like me, that's their problem. But it will never be your problem because again, not everyone in the world will like you, and you can't expect that. You really have to be realistic with yourself. If you think that everyone in the world is going to like you will be bending over backwards trying to be a people pleaser, and you will never achieve it, and it will drive you insane. So again, it's just about coming to terms with the fact that not everyone will agree with you or like you, but if they don't, if they are hateful and so negative, I feel bad for them. I look at someone now who is being hateful or rude, and I kind of almost sympathize with them in a way. And I'm like, wow, like, must suck. That must suck to be so negative and living in such a dark, clouded brain where you feel the need to spread even more negativity in the world, as if we need more. As if we need more hate in this world, you're gonna take the extra time out of your day and go the extra step to comment it and to let someone know that you don't like what they're doing. Like, at least the people on the internet, at least the creators are having the nerve to post a video, to be vulnerable, to be creative, to put themselves out there when you are just hiding behind a screen. You know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather be the person being made fun of than the person making the negative comments. And it's such a vulnerable but powerful thing to be able to put yourself out there on a stage, on a platform, wherever it is, and let them throw their tomatoes, let them boo, let them cheer, however they perceive you. Some people will love it, some people will hate it, but you will never make everyone happy. So being able to accept that, you will go so far in life. And I think that's where a lot of resilience comes in. Being resilient is like being invincible. It's like you have this force field and knowing that anything that comes your way, any negativity will just bounce right back off of you. Like, I want you guys to envision that. Envision a force field, and that all these hate comments and the rude things that people may say towards you, just let it bounce off you and right back towards them, because they will get back exactly the energy that they put out. So if you're constantly putting out negativity, don't even worry about like karma or trying to get them back or say something rude back and stoop down to their level, because it will come right back to them, literally like a boomerang. So don't even worry about trying to set the record straight or tell someone off, because energetically that will be stooping down to their level. So instead, let it bounce right off of you and back onto them. Like, don't even engage. Don't even give them the time of day, because they don't deserve it. They do not deserve your energy. And truly, that's all they want. Like, as a certified hater, all they want is to take your energy down. They see your aura, they see your glow, and they're jealous because they don't have the same thing. So what they want to do is to truly dull you down, is to truly try and bring you down to their level. So you have to be so secure in yourself, so energetically stable, that nothing can bring you down no matter how hard they try. And it almost makes me laugh, because those people in the comments who decided to leave the hate comments, leave the negativity, guess whose views and engagement that boosted? Guess who made thousands of dollars off of that video because of all the hate comments? And again, that could never be them. They are so opinionated and feel the need to judge and say what they're thinking. Like, first of all, no one asked. Second of all, you don't even have a profile picture. Like, you can't even put yourself out there if you tried. So anytime I get hate, I kind of have to laugh, because like, what are you doing? If you think what I'm doing is stupid, I don't think there's anything more worthless and pointless than leaving a hate comment. But thank you. I think over time I've just become so immune almost to the hate, because one, it is so inevitable when you are putting yourself for millions of people to see on the internet. Again, obviously not everyone will like you, and same thing goes for real life. But the bigger picture is, I would never be in the position I am today if I cared what people think. And again, I could have blown up on TikTok probably way sooner. But when I was in high school, I was too scared to post things seriously. At first, I was scared to start posting on TikTok. That's why I didn't start until the pandemic, because I was like, okay, finally, I don't have to see everyone at school. It doesn't matter. I don't have to worry about like anyone seeing my video and then having to go to school the next day. So finally, I started taking social media seriously during quarantine, when in reality, I could have started a lot sooner if I could have let go of my attachment to what people were thinking about me. If I could have let go of that worry, I think I would be even further. Guys, I could have been the next Charlie D'Amelio before Charlie D'Amelio even D'Amelio'd. We set back our growth process so much because we waste so much time pushing it off, because we're afraid of the outside opinions, because we don't want other people to see what we're doing. I know deep down you have a dream, you have a vision of what you want for yourself. You have that goal or that project that you have been dying to start. Whether you want to start posting TikToks or YouTube videos, or you want to be an actress or a singer, you want to make music, you want to make art, but you're not posting it or sharing it with people because you're either A, afraid of what your peers and your family and the people around you will think, or B, you're afraid of rejection. You're afraid that if you put yourself out there, people aren't going to like it and you're not going to succeed. I am face palming right now, you guys. You need to remember that it's not about what anyone else thinks of your art. It's about what you think of it. Because again, this draws us back to, just because not every single person likes your work doesn't mean that no one will. So I think when you are coming up with a post or an idea, art, song, whatever your form of passion is, we become so afraid of failing, and we try to make our work something that we think other people will like instead of really making it something that we like. And when I first started doing social media full time, I struggled with this so much. I would literally get writer's block because I wasn't making content that I liked. I was trying to think of what other people wanted to see. And then my account literally plummeted. And then I had to take a hiatus off of TikTok because it was so unhealthy for my well being and my mindset. But I promise you, everything will perform the best when you're doing it for you. I think as an audience, people can detect whether something is genuine or not, whether something feels truthful and authentic, opposed to if it feels forced or scripted or not your true self. That's why it's so important that at all times you are being your true, most authentic, genuine self, because people can tell. People can tell. And if someone doesn't like your true, authentic, genuine self, why do you want to be friends with them anyway? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't add up. Why would you want to surround yourself with someone who doesn't like you as you are? And again, if I clung on to that idea and attachment of what people thought of me, I would not be sitting here where I am today. Because even starting this podcast, do I think everyone was going to like it? Absolutely not. Do I know that some people in my past life were sending it around and being like, oh, like, look, she thinks she could start a podcast? Absolutely. Like, same thing when I first started posting TikTok videos. I know damn well during high school, especially, people were sending that shit around and being like, okay, this is embarrassing. They were probably like, what is this girl doing? Like, posting these random outfits, acting like an influencer. What is she doing? Who does she think she is? Look at me now. Who's listening to my podcast? That's what I thought. Obviously, there were so many times I came across like, oh, like I don't want to post this. I don't want people to see it, whatever. Just post it. Post the video. Try out your artwork. Write the song. Go on the stage. Whatever you are holding back on because of your fear of outside opinion, let go of that fear, you guys. It will set you so free. The art of not caring is the most freeing thing you can do for yourself and your mental health. Think of it this way. How are you supposed to grow if you are so busy being concerned about what other people are thinking? How are you supposed to grow if you're making moves based off what you think other people want and want to see instead of what you think is best for you? Stop doing what you think is best for them, because what's best for them is not what's best for you. If you are living in this constant state of fear and almost desperation to get people to like you will never be truly happy. You will never be truly confident. And that's why it's so important to work on your self-concepts and your confidence. Once you strengthen your confidence and your self-concept of yourself, you become so sure of the person that you are that any outside forces cannot affect you. And I've had people close to me try to tell me that I'm selfish, or maybe a stranger try to say that you're ugly, or people say that I'm dramatic or I'm annoying or anything. And it just rolls right off because I'm so sure and deeply rooted within myself, and I know who I am, that no one else can tell me differently. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks of you. It matters what you think of you. Your own perception is the most important one you can create for yourself. And if you're constantly on edge, so worried and worked up about what other people are going to think of you, again, you don't come across as confident. You don't come across as a bad bitch who knows who she is. You look so embarrassing right now because you're trying to please other people. Like, that is not a cute look. Again, you will never achieve happiness that way, because true happiness comes from within. It comes from being able to say, you know what, I love myself. I love what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm passionate about this. So who gives a fuck what anyone else thinks? Like, you can't change yourself and your interests and your personality to gear and facilitate towards other people. Your life is supposed to revolve around you. Put yourself on the pedestal and stop putting all these other people and their needs and opinions before yours, because frankly, who cares? You have to stop putting other people before yourself, because you will never be happy if you're doing everything else for show and for them. Like, first of all, that's fake. If you have to change yourself and be someone else in order to please other people, you're lying. You're being fake and you're not being true to yourself. It's so much easier when you come to terms with who you are, when you focus on discovering yourself and finding out your true interests and passions and channeling that. Channel that into everything you do. Channel who you truly feel like you are and who you feel called to be. Be that person every day, and you will be so much happier than the person you're pretending to be in order to please others. And something that's also important to remember is that no one actually cares what you're doing. I know sometimes we live with this fear of like, oh my gosh, like, do I look bad? This person's staring at me. I tripped and fell. I'm so embarrassed, and everyone's looking at me. Guys, for no one's looking at you. I'm sorry. You're important. You are important, but everyone else is so focused on themselves and insecure in themselves, honestly. They're so worried about what they're doing. They don't give a fuck about you. They might seem opinionated, even if they do have strong opinions. At the end of the day, they're not going home and being like, wow, I can't believe that girl wore those pants today. I can't believe her outfit. Like, no one's really that concerned with what you're doing. And as humans, I think we're meant to be selfish. You know, we all go home to our own lives, our own brains, our own thoughts. And I think that's okay. Like, worry about yourself. And that's why it's important to remember that no one really cares that much. No one is staring you down like a hawk, and no one's gonna go home and write in their diary, like, Dear Diary, I can't believe Bri posted that stupid TikTok. Like, no one cares, you guys. Like, be for real. They're so concerned with their own lives that they're not even looking at you. What one person hates about you, someone else will love about you, and vice versa. Your worst qualities to yourself will be the best qualities to someone else. Or something you might hate about the way you look. Like, I don't know, say you hate your hair. Someone else is looking at your hair and like, damn, like she has the best hair. I wish I had her hair. Or someone else might look at your outfit and think, oh my God, like her outfit is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I would never wear that. And then another person might look at it and be like, that girl has the best style I've ever seen. I wish I could dress like that. And again, the person who's judging your outfit, they're also just judging the fact that they could never have the confidence to wear that. So I think it's important to see all sides of the spectrum, and that some people might love you, some might hate you, and the hate is a reflection of them. And I think the need and craving for validation, again, is so much worse in today's day and age. And a big part of it definitely stems from social media. Like, think about the short-term dopamine hits that we get from a like on our picture or a comment or just the validation that we get from people seeing us online, or even a compliment. Like, you get these short-term spikes in dopamine and it makes you feel good, and like you're on this high and you just want more and more and more. And so we become so fueled by other people's outside perspectives, when in reality, you can be giving yourself those same compliments, that same reassurance, and let go of the need of it. Like, I get it, it feels good in the moment. It feels good if someone calls you pretty or they compliment you, or you see people are loving your photo and like saying you look so hot. But at the end of the day, none of that really means anything if you're not sure of yourself. If anything, it means more to be able to let go of the comments. Like, because again, we become so obsessed with the judgment and wanting to know, like, oh, like, I hope people are liking my picture. Why do you think after you post a picture, you're checking the comments every 30 seconds? Because you want to know what people are thinking of you. You want to know what they have to say, and you want that approval. You posted the picture anyway because you like it. So who cares what they think? If you didn't get 1,000 likes on your picture, doesn't matter. Like, you still like the picture. And I'd say that's something that I've had to become so comfortable with. Just because other people don't approve of it, it doesn't mean it's not good. It's good to you, so that's all that matters. You have to let go of that constant need for approval, because you trying to seek that validation from other people comes from a place of insecurity within yourself. It comes from a place of you being unsure of yourself, not knowing who you truly are or how you perceive yourself. And listen to this part closely, because you might not even realize that you're doing it. But say you post a picture that shows your body. Say it's a bathing suit picture. And then say you are just looking for and waiting for those comments that are talking specifically about your body. And there's other comments too, you know, you're so pretty, I love your bathing suit, your hair looks really good. But you are specifically like staring down the ones that are like, oh, like you look so good here, like your body is goals, whatever. That is because you are insecure of your body or you are unsure of your body. And I'm not trying to call anyone out. Maybe this is just a me thing. I don't know. Maybe this doesn't apply to you. So if it's not, take it with a grain of salt. But what I'm saying is we crave validation even more for the parts of ourselves that we aren't giving enough love to. Because if I'm not loving my body enough, I would love for someone else to be saying that my body looks killer. You know what I mean? I think that in the parts that we are neglecting and kind of not loving about ourselves, we want that validation from somebody else. So, in general, when we want some sort of validation from someone else, it comes from a place inside of us that we are unsure of. It comes from a place inside of us that we aren't able to truly love. So, we're hoping that someone else will love it or define it for us. We want to know so badly how other people perceive us if we're not sure of who we really are. You are the one who determines who you are. Don't let another person's words or actions affect your own. You have to put up that force field and let the negativity just roll off your back, because if you let it in, you're letting the negativity win. Learn not to care. Learn that no one else can tell you who you are besides yourself. And as humans, we want to know so badly how other people are perceiving us, how other people are viewing us. And a huge part of healing that is just getting comfortable with the unknown. Learn to get comfortable with the fact that you're not going to know what everyone thinks about you. Their thoughts belong in their brain the same way your thoughts belong in your brain. So even if they are thinking something negatively about you, they can keep that to themselves. And they have to have that negativity follow them around everywhere. That negativity is not your burden to carry. That is not yours to hold. That can stay with them. Stop opening the door for people to tell you what they think about you. If they do admire something about you, they can either think that to themselves or they can let you know. But you have to stop inviting negativity in. And by constantly being on the chase for validation from other people, that's what we are doing. We're inviting negativity in. We are giving someone willingly the chance to put us down. When in reality, if you are so sure of yourself, you're not going to be looking around for opportunities to know what other people are thinking about you. So become comfortable with the fact that you will not always know what other people are thinking about you, and that's okay, because any negativity is theirs to hold. We don't want it over here. No matter who they are or what you try to say or explain, no one will ever understand you the way that you understand you. No one will think the exact same or necessarily understand your vision or your goals or your thoughts or your morals. And that's okay. That's the whole point. We are all created to be entirely different from one another. So if someone doesn't appreciate you or see you, don't take that as oh, it must not be good then. Just because someone else doesn't get it or they don't agree, it doesn't mean it's not good. So for this week's challenge, I want you guys to touch base with yourself. I want you to really ask yourself who you are, not who other people think you are, not who other people want to be, but ask yourself, who am I? Who do I want to be? What do you envision yourself as? Ask yourself how you perceive yourself and how you want to grow as a person, but stop worrying about the other people. It is so powerful if you really take the time to strengthen your self-concept and your self-image of yourself. Your confidence will skyrocket and you become, again, invincible to what other people will say. Because if you stand so sure in your belief of who you are, no one else can tell you differently. A huge part of not caring is being able to detach from the outcome of attachment. There's a quote from Buddha, and it's attachment is the root of all evil. And I think that's so true. We become so obsessed with the outcome and if someone's going to like you or want to be your friend or agree with what you have to say. And I am begging you to practice letting that go. So anytime you get a nervous feeling, anytime you feel anxious or you find yourself overthinking and overanalyzing a situation, or maybe every time someone says something that doesn't sit right with you, it feels like a jab, it feels like a negative comment, ask yourself, and what about it? If someone says hey, I don't like your sweater, your outfit, and what about it? And literally, what about it? Because I like it, I'm going to dress the way I want. Say someone's okay, well, you're stupid, you're weird. And what about it? Literally, that is your thought to hold. They can keep that. If that's what they want to think, if that'll help them sleep at night, and if spreading that negativity will help them, let them, but don't let it affect your image of yourself. Once you let go of that worry of what everyone else is thinking about you and what they're gonna say, like you will realize that the answer is within yourself. And it feels so good to be so secure in who you are as a person that you don't even care. Like someone could tell me the meanest thing or the nicest thing, and my perception of myself stays the exact same. You know your truth. You know who you truly are as a person, and that's the only thing that matters. So I want you guys to remember that throughout the week. And another thing, I have an affirmation for us. I want you to practice writing or saying to yourself in the mirror, I love myself, and that is more than enough. I think that this shows that you have an abundance of love to give for yourself, and it doesn't matter if someone else loves you or likes you or not, because you have all the validation you need within yourself and you're able to release that attachment to the outside opinion. And with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. We have some exciting stuff coming up. I may or may not be launching a clothing line. If you guys have been keeping up with my socials, you can go vote on my Instagram story and help me decide what pieces you guys want in my capsule clothing collection. It's just going to be a few pieces for now for a summer line, and I want it to be a collaborative experience with you guys. So if you look on my Bri-day Instagram with 2 B's, I will have polls and stuff so that we can help design the cutest line together. Again, this is another thing I would not be able to do if I didn't let go of my attachment to the outside opinion. I wouldn't be here without you guys, and I'm so grateful for that. So again, I want to do this collaborative clothing line with you. So let me know what kind of pieces you guys want to see. You can shoot me a message on Instagram. You can watch today's episode on YouTube, or you can listen on Spotify or Apple Music. Keep up with us on Instagram and TikTok at Hot Unbothered. Please make sure to follow the podcast and leave a review or comment for a chance to be featured in next week's episode. I love you all so, so much. Try not to care, and I will see you in next week's episode. Mwah. Love you. Bye.